Thunder Dave Steinman claims to have invented Mio Energy and to therefore be the natural choice for spokesperson of the brand.
Mio Energy is the greatest source of energy ever discovered.
Just hit the tag for me. Personal, portable Mio Energy.
I just went on a vision quest.
So let's go to our last guest of the day, the man who will be facing Jon Jones in the future in a few months' time. Dan Henderson joining us right now. Dan, how are you?
Good. How you guys doing?
We're doing great, and I really appreciate you taking the time to join us. Of course, you were in Atlanta at UFC 145. You saw the fight firsthand. Were you impressed with what Jon Jones did on Saturday night?
Yeah. I think he fought a smart fight. He fought, fairly solid. He did a lot of what he does best, throwing the elbows from different positions and just kind of outworked Rashad. But, I think Rashad fought Jon Jones's fight for sure. And didn't make it easy on Jon Jones, but, could have made it a lot harder if he would have tried to kind of fight his fight, take him down a little, mix it up a little bit more.
But could he actually take him down? I mean, what could he have done differently? It looked like he tried to shoot a couple times, and Jon was having none of it.
I think Rashad could have definitely taken him down. I don't think he really had too solid of takedown attempts. Maybe one decent attempt, but, didn't set it up at all. And Rashad usually does that pretty well. He did that real well against Phil Davis. But it's a little bit harder for him he fights a lot better moving forward, and he was moving back most of the fight.
Do you feel as though, given your sense, obviously you can't go into these guys' minds, but when they go in there, they succumb to the aura of Jon Jones, that they I don't know, you've been in a lot of fights. I doubt that gets to you at this point, but you get the sense that guys go in there and don't look like themselves because how sort of physically impressive and dominant Jon Jones has been in his career?
I'm sure that happens. He's definitely a lot taller and longer than most guys that anybody trains with, but Rashad, having trained with him in the past, Jon Jones is still the same size.
Right.
He might have got improved technically, but he's still the same size. He still does awkward things, and I don't think that should have been a factor. I just don't understand. Either I don't understand Rashad's game plan, or I don't understand why he didn't try to implement his game plan. I would have liked to have, seen Rashad at least have some solid attempts at putting Jon Jones on his back.
And what do you think of the last couple rounds? It seemed to me like Jon respected Rashad a lot, and it's hard to say from this vantage point. Like, he had opportunities where he maybe could have finished him, but for whatever reason didn't want to put himself in those vulnerable positions. Do you feel as though he could have finished the fight and didn't?
Yes. I felt that he had a couple opportunities. One maybe in the second round, I don't remember, second or third round, and then maybe one opportunity a little later. He just could have pressured a lot harder and tried to finish the fight. But I felt like, at one point he just kind of was okay winning each round, and he looked good doing it, but I think he definitely could have finished the fight.
When you watch Jon Jones fight, at this point, do you see any weaknesses in his game? Do you see any glaring holes there?
Yeah, everybody has holes in their game, and I just think he matches up style-wise well with me. He's going to stand and bang a little bit. He gets in there and he starts to throw some punches and get on the inside a little bit too, and likes to get into the clinch. So, those are places where I'm sure that our fight will go.
How do you
that I'm very comfortable with.
How do you plan on dealing with that reach, though? That seems to be the one puzzle no one can figure out.
Yeah, I think it all has to do with, you got to commit to, being offensive, throwing those punches, getting on the inside, and, or it's just staying outside that reach. A lot of it is pressure and cutting them off, and I don't know. a lot of times tough to do and tough to implement sometimes, and to keep a guy always on the defense and keep pressuring him. But against someone like Jones, that should be the game plan.
In the last few fights, you've sort of moved away from your wrestling, and you've obviously developed an unbelievable right hand there where you're knocking guys out left, right, and center. Are you going to try to go back to your wrestling in this fight and try to take this fight to the ground?
Yeah, I don't think I've forgotten about it. I just know where I'm most dangerous, and if I get a guy that's pretty dangerous on his feet, with possibilities of knocking me out, then I'll wrestle a little bit more. But yeah, I'm sure this one will go down on the ground and stay on our feet. And it's hard to say right now. I got to kind of formulate a game plan, look at some video of him. I just recently started kind of paying more attention to his style.
What do you? Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, just kind of looking at him a little more closely recently.
Why do you think fans, there's so many fans that just don't like Jon Jones. He's so good, so dominant, but yet he hears the boos. People call him fake. They don't really, I don't know, for some reason fans haven't gravitated towards him. Why do you think that is? And they love you. I mean, you're one of the more well-liked guys. You have such a passionate fan base. So from someone who is so well-liked and has been in this sport for so long, why do you think someone so talented like Jon has not been able to generate the same kind of response from the fans?
I don't know. I'm sure you could answer that question too. Why do you suppose that is?
Well, I wanted to get your opinion because you're a guy who has been able to get that response. So maybe you could teach him a thing or two.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it all has to do with being genuine, and the fans sense that when you are and when you're not. So I'm pretty much who I am all the time, and I don't know if they get that impression from him.
Do you get that impression from him?
Not really. I think he was a little bit better after his fight with Rashad than he had been in the past, but I haven't got that impression from him now.
So you think he's, and not trying to put words in your mouth, but you think he's cocky or what? Like, what do you think is not genuine about him?
It's just I don't know. It just, his whole attitude sometimes, it's not completely not genuine, but I think that's what the fans are turned off by. I don't know him, personally, so I can't really say if it's genuine or not. That's the impression that I think fans get.
Has the UFC told you, have they given you any kind of indication as to when this fight will take place?
None, not at all. So, I have no idea when. Sooner the better, but, I realize that he just got done fighting and might need a little time. So we'll see.
When would you like the fight to take place? Like, is there, I mean, obviously you say sooner the better, but is there a sort of time frame where you think you'll get enough time now to prepare for this guy?
I think July 7th would be not a good date. That's 10 weeks out in Vegas. So, but, I don't know if that'll happen or not.
I'm not Dana White, but I can almost guarantee that won't happen. I mean, I doubt they'd put you versus Jon, Chael Anderson maybe, and the Faber-Cruz fight on the same card. That would just be bananas.
No, I doubt that as well. But, I don't know is the Chael Anderson thing confirmed either?
Oh, it's not. But I'm just saying if it did go in that direction, good point. It could be, that could be an option as well.
So, yeah, I'm just saying that could be the earliest that would be.